Awesome. Okay. Let me set up a timer so I make sure I'm not going to talk your guys' ears off for an hour because I want to hear from you guys. Okay, so let me share this. Awesome. I'll get everything squared away. Just gonna stretch everything out. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first Southern Steelhead Coalition meeting, and I realize that the sharing bar is right there, and I'm gonna move it over here. Okay, cool. So again, thank you for coming to the Southern Steelhead Coalition meeting. It's unfortunate scheduling, but you know, stuff happens all the time, but thank you for coming. And let's get this started on the way. So I'm just gonna go over the agenda real quick first. So I want to introduce you to me, and then I will talk about what the transitioning from the Santa Clara River Southern Steelhead Coalition to the Southern Steelhead Coalition is like. It will be a lot easier to say from now on, so that's another good thing and a plus. I'll talk about the new website, update on our socials and a calendar that we have, and then introduce some Cal Trout members that are here, and then also get to learn the existing members of the coalition. I probably emailed with a bunch of you, but never seen your face, so it'd be nice to see what you guys look like and put a face to the name. And then, and then also hear from any new coalition members or partners that are here at this meeting who would like to introduce themselves. And then allow people open the floor for updates. So if anybody wants to give a project update of what they're doing or anything like that, you can have the floor for then, and then we'll have questions. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so again, hi, my name is Elizabeth Burns. It's wonderful to meet all of you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So presently, my background is I'm an ichthyologist and a marine biologist, so I feel like I'm highly qualified to talk about this cool anadromous fish that we all love so much. Also, I do a lot of scientific communication and outreach as a part of my background, so that's what that's how I got this position, and I really love it so far. I'm really excited to do some work with you guys. If you'd like to contact me, this is my email, and then also my mobile phone number, my business phone number, so you can call that if you want to talk to me. So let's talk about a couple of things real quick. I wanted to go over to, now that we have a new coalition, I really wanted to talk about the coalition's goals in general. So, so my goal, first off, as the new project coordinator, is going to be really, let's start off with one of my tasks, is submitting grants on behalf of the coalition members. And that includes grants for the individual organization, or even examples that for projects that you want to see grant money for. You can reach out to me. We can try to coordinate that together and use our resources to help you get your projects off the ground, so we can help out this really cool fish you can see over here. So that is my part. That's one of my jobs as the project coordinator. Next is the things that we work on as coalitions, that I work on, are all things that affect the Southern Steelhead. And so could be watershed activities, ocean and estuaries, landscape, water, education. We as a coalition, as me and also I as a project coordinator, all work on things that relate to Southern Steelhead, which is a lot. And so that's all things in the purview of this coalition and my job. I also do outreach for the coalition. So these things could be for the coalition's activities, like, hey, I have an event, I want you to come table at that to talk about the coalition. It could also just be outreach for the members of the coalition. So you can see here on this table, I have a lot of materials that are advertisements, and these are for the coalition in general. So like Surfrider Foundation, Wishitoyo Tribes flyers are on there. The Friends of Santa Clara River are on there, Keep Chesapeake Wild is on there, and many, many more flyers on there. So it's my job to create awareness of the projects that are going on within the coalition, and then also just the coalition, the groups that are part of this coalition. Okay, so then let's talk about how this coalition is changing. So we're losing part of the name, which is, I think, good. I mean, it's sad, you know, that we're getting rid of the cool Santa Clara part, but we are also now evolving to include the Santa Clara River and the watersheds of San Ynez. So Santa Clara watershed and the San Ynez watershed. And so that means that we are now expanding into the San Ynez. And that means that I have a call for new members of San Ynez to become part of this coalition. So we're looking for community stakeholders, and these could be environmental groups, landowners, educational groups, et cetera, anybody that you believe would have an interest in this coalition. So you can reach out to any organizations or groups you think would like to participate, or you could even have them send their information to me. But I would love some help gaining some members in the coalition. Tom, I see your hand raised. I'll get back to you. Let me just finish this whole thing, but we'll get to that, okay?
No rush.
Any people you think would like to become part of this group, please let me know, and I'd love to have them as we are expanding into the San Ynez. Okay, so again, I wanted to remind people, this is the goal of the coalition, is to increase the pace, scale, and scope of the watershed restoration projects leading to resilient southern steelhead populations in high priority rivers / watersheds. So this is applying to what we are focusing on, which is the Santa Clara and the San Ynez areas of Southern California. So that's what we're striving to do. And also, another point of this coalition is that we want to provide a forum for the coalition to coordinate efforts together like we are doing right now. This is, right, the Southern Steelhead Coalition meeting. So this is one of the things that we're trying to do. And then also use membership of groups part of the coalition to ensure collaboration across a broad partnerships, right, to help each other get each other's projects done and help create resilient southern steelhead populations through different efforts, right, by restoring watersheds or creating public education on why you shouldn't throw trash into the river, things like that. And then finally, what's really important is to engage the public on the importance and the relevancy of the work. If the public doesn't know what's going on, they won't change their behavior, and it's best to do it in a way that's effective or even helpful. So the smallest pamphlet or anything like that could really help affect somebody in the way they perceive the work that's going on here, or even just change their behavior to make it so they don't throw something into the river or, other things like that. Okay, so now we know a little bit about and are refreshing on the new coalition and what its goals are and what it strives to do. Let's talk about what's new about it. So we have a new website, as you see right here. We have it all set up, and this is the website, and I'll send out this PowerPoint so you guys could look at these links if you'd like. And this is the Southern Steelhead, or southernsteelhead.org is our new website. And we also have something called a card. And so the card will have all of the accounts and relevant information for Southern Steelhead Coalition on there. You'll find all that on the website, but if you ever want to just give out information to somebody like, hey, here's all the information. You don't have to give the website if you don't want to. You could give this card instead of this link on there. You can also find this card link on the website too, but it's just a way to have everything neatly there. So if you look on that, you'll know exactly what accounts we have. Okay, so then here is our socials. And we have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook. And I am happy to promote your events and add them to our socials to cross-promote. So if you have any events that you'd like me to promote on our socials, let me know and I will send that out to the masses. So another thing I wanted to bring up was our calendar. So I have embedded a calendar on our website, and you can actually subscribe to the calendar to stay up to date on all the coalition events. Like public events, I'm not going to show you like meetings that are happening between me and Russell, but like stuff that I'm going out in public and giving outreach to, so you can stay up to date. I already have been to at least 3 or 4 events, and we have many more scheduled in October. So if you want us to, we will also add any events that you guys are doing and put them on our calendar, and then also promote these events on our socials. So if you want people to go to certain events and you're on the coalition, we'll add them to our calendar and you can come out. Also, as you can see on this table, as I talked about already, I have a bunch of flyers on here from different organizations. So I would love for you to send us your items so we can have stuff for tabling, stickers or flyers, whatever you'd like. You could send that to me or tell me where to pick it up. I would love to do that and gather some more because I've been to a lot of events and we're kind of running low. So if you could, anybody wants to reach out, wants me to hand out any flyers, please let me know. Also, if you want to give out any of our flyers, we do have an info sheet, and we also have a little foldable on the Southern Steelhead that we could give to you as well if you want to promote those as too. So we can help each other by cross-promoting. So again, we have some events coming up, and this is from the Friends of Santa Clara River. They have a Santa Clara River cleanup that will be happening on the coastal be happening on September 30th. And then we have another event, which is the Malibu Watershed Fair. The coalition will be a part of that, as I will be there. But this falls underneath to Southern California. It's just another way of, promoting watershed activities. Even if it's a little bit outside of our purview, it doesn't harm anybody to help promote an event that helps restore rivers and watersheds and other things like that. So that'll be something I'll be at. And that's on October 1st. And then finally, the thing that really pertains to us is Walking the Watershed, which is in Ojai, and that's be on Saturday, October 14th at 9 a.m. and I'll be there as well. And I encourage any of you guys to be there or reach out to give me any events that you guys are doing. Okay, so enough about me. I've been talking a lot. So now it's time to introduce. First thing we'll bring up is some Cal Trout staff from San Francisco office. This is Lazara. Lazara, if you're ready, feel free to come and chat.
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. And good morning, everyone. I'm Lasida, and I'm just going to briefly talk to you about my role in the coalition. And there are three main tasks that I'll be working on. At CalTrout, I'm part of the grants team, and so I'll be assisting Elizabeth and the coalition members with any grant proposal development. I'll also be researching and learning about the tribal nations in this region. One of the goals of the coalition is to expand the work that we're doing and also incorporating the vision and the hopes of the tribes and the tribal nations and tribal people in this area, and also just to build relationships through this coalition. And the third thing is that we're going to be coordinating a search for a coalition tribal liaison for 2024. And this will be a part-time funded position. And so you'll be hearing more about that in the future. And so if there's anything there that you want to talk to me about, I would love any input. So you can reach out to me at my email. Thank you.
So much, Lazara. Appreciate that. Okay, so again, Lazara is really cool and she's pretty good. She's very, very knowledgeable, and so she'll be helping out a bit. But I'll be the main point of contact because Lazara is super busy. So, let us know if you need any help with anything. Okay, so we did Cal Trout staff. Next would be I'd love to go around and have existing and new faces at this coalition. Just introduce yourself. Just a quick hey, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, and this is what we're doing. Especially if you want to say what you really want to get out of the Steelhead Coalition, like something you're really looking forward to or something you'd like to get done. That'd be really useful information. And then after that, we'll open the floor for any project updates from coalition groups, attendees, and any agencies that are here. And then finally, we'll get to questions. So Tom, I haven't forgotten your question. I just want to leave it towards the end if that's okay. Okay, so, all right. I will take this down for now. And I'll start the floor off. Oh, I do see a question. I will get to that to the end too. Just I want to get the introductions going so I can know a little bit more about you guys. Get all that done, and then we can open up discussion if that's okay. And I'll call people out so we don't have to sit there awkwardly and wait for people to volunteer themselves. And I just know who's going. So unfortunately, Catherine Carmichael, you are the first on my list. Unless Russell wants to go first, but I feel like you guys all know Russell. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Carmichael. I work as a district representative for Senator Monique Limon, and I focus on environment and for this coalition, specifically water issues for the senator. And are you calling out, or should I call someone?
I'll do it. That way you
cool.
don't have to yeah. So Tevin Schmidt, you are next on my list.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tevin Schmidt. I'm the watershed scientist for the Wichita Chumash Foundation. Wichita is a nonprofit, not a tribe, just to clear that up. I run our watershed monitoring program, do surveys for steelhead and rainbow trout throughout the Santa Clara River watershed, as well as other endangered and sensitive species. I also monitor water quality throughout the Santa Clara River watershed to identify potential litigation and restoration opportunities. I also run our environmental justice advocacy programs and things like that. And I'm our client rep on our legal cases. And so I'm pretty busy in the Santa Clara watershed, looking forward to working with new people in the watershed, and always willing to support projects through scientific monitoring and restoration.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for that correction. Tevin, you got a lot on your plate. Thank you for being here today. Next is Derek Hitchcock. Wonderful to meet all of you, by the way.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Derek. I'm a new arrival to the Nature Conservancy. I'm the Associate Director of Rivers and Coastal Wetlands. So it's a statewide position. And in that way, I work with Pete and Walter and Kat. And I have a long history of working on salmonid recovery, but not Southern Steelhead. So I'm excited to engage and just it's great to meet everybody today. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Derek. Okay, next on my list or up on, on the order is Michelle Sevilla,
Sevilla, like the city in
Okay.
Spain.
Okay.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Michelle Sevilla, Communications Director for Assemblymember Steve Bennett. I also am kind of like not Jordy, but also Catherine's parallel to covering environmental and water issues for the Assembly member. And we have done legislation this year, which is pretty exciting in partnership with CalTrout. And I'll share some updates during the announcements page. But if you need anything regarding the western half of Ventura County, which is our district, please let me know.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, Walter Hetty.
Hi all, I'm Walter Hetty. I'm a senior scientist with the Nature Conservancy, and I provide science support for our teams in the Santa Clara River as well as on the Dangerman Preserve for Halama Creek watershed.
Thank you so much. And again, wonderful to meet all of you guys. Peter Dixon.
Hi, everyone. Peter Dixon. I'm with the Nature Conservancy as well. I'm the Restoration Project Manager for the Santa Clara River and Coast, and primarily in the lower watershed. We have about 4,100 acres of the Santa Clara River that we own and manage and are conducting restoration. Thanks.
Wow. Again, thank you for being here. Cher, nice to see you again. You're next on my list.
Yes, I'm here kind of representing the SCV Eco Alliance, which is a new group in the last year, a coordinating group, sort of like this group, but just generalized environmental groups in the Santa Clarita Valley and Santa Clara area. And I'm also with Citizens Climate Lobby for Santa Clarita. I would say our work is really a little bit more educational than hands-on, like a lot of you all are. And we like to stay in communication among the various groups who are doing things so that we can help each other to the extent possible. Citizens Climate Lobby is working primarily on lowering carbon emissions, so that we hope that will help everybody and what we're all trying to do. So that's kind of where we are in this group. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And then Tom Dudley.
Okay, Tom Dudley. I'm with the Marine Science Institute of UC Santa Barbara. Most of my work has to do with impacts of invasive, both plant and animal species, and biological control, as well as traditional restoration methods. But also of interest is that our grad student, Tara Dressler, just completed her doctoral research on two main things. One is basically looking at physiology of trout, of rainbow and steelhead trout across a climate gradient across California and going up into Oregon. So that is something I might make available for everybody in this group to take a look at. Her work. It's really good. But she also, we've been doing environmental DNA for characterizing fish and amphibian assemblages in not just the Santa Clara watershed, but all the regional watersheds. So
Thank
that's
you so
enough.
much, Tom. That's great. Can't wait to hear about that in the update section. Also, I'd like to thank everybody again, for coming, and I know it's really busy. Amanda Begley.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Amanda from Tree People, where we serve as the watershed coordinator in the upper Santa Clara River as part of LA County's Tax Measure W, also known as the Safe Clean Water Program. And we are also involved in the WAM Coalition, the Watershed Wide Orondo Management Group. Thank you for having us.
Thank you again. Next is Kylie Speth. I'm sorry if I hope I'm saying that correctly.
You got it right, no worries. Hi, I'm Kylie. I'm currently representing Abby Convery here at the planning department at this meeting. But here I'm working on bio projects, assisting with resource planning. I just started here, so I'm excited to hear from you all, happy to be here. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Kyle Evans from CDFW.
Good morning. Nice to meet everyone here. Thank you for involving me. I work as the supervisor for California Department of Fish and Wildlife for our anadromous fisheries program within Southern California. So this extends from the Santa Maria River in the north down to the US-Mexico border, primarily charged with monitoring Southern Steelhead through the California Monitoring Program, running our drought monitoring programs, and focusing on grant management and restoration grants for our Southern California streams and rivers.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Nate Irwin.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm the policy associate with the Santa Barbara Channel Keeper. We work on protecting and restoring Santa Barbara Channel and its watersheds through science-based advocacy, education, field work, and enforcement. I also have worked with Cal Trout through my initiative Illuminate Conservation, where we create art to raise awareness about endangered species, most notably the Southern California steelhead. And yeah, excited to be here and to learn from you. And thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I think, let's see. Yeah, Julie Colbert.
Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for reaching out and inviting us to this. I'm Julie Colbert. I work for the Shumash Environmental Office. We're a department here for the San Ynez Band of Shumash Indians, and we're part of kind of like the tribal administration, tribal government. We have several programs that we have that we kind of manage. I primarily manage our water quality monitoring program here. I have two other coworkers. They work on a variety of programs as well. We have a tribal plant nursery that they oversee and propagate plants for. And we'd like to definitely get into do some more habitat restoration down in our creek area. But thank you for inviting me, and thanks for it's good to be here.
Thanks for coming. Like I said, I heard how busy you guys are, so I really appreciate taking time. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's been moving around a bit, but I think Nicole is next. Nicole Gergens?
Yes, yeah. Nicole Jurgens.
Okay,
but yeah.
sorry.
No, that's a common pronunciation. So nice to meet you, Elizabeth. Welcome. We're really excited to have you leading this group. And I work as an environmental scientist for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife in the South Coast region. I am on the Steelhead Recovery and Restoration team, and one of my main priorities is managing the restoration projects that are funded through our grants. That's all the way from San Diego to Santa Barbara, and really appreciate the groups like the coalition. We actually are we are the funders for this group, and there's a lot of money out on the table right now for restoration and for the whole state, and we love these groups because we could get that money to the right folks here in Southern California for those grants. So looking forward to working with you and all the members.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really nice to meet you. We've exchanged some emails, so it's nice to put a face and name.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we talked to Michelle. A. Frangus, I believe, is next.
Hi, I'm Alexis Frangus with California State Parks Chemicals District. I'm an environmental scientist here on behalf of Dina Bellman, our district superintendent. So we manage parks in our district spans from Ventura to Santa Barbara County. So we have, several steelhead rivers and creeks. Primarily here we've got McGrath State Beach and the Santa Clara River Estuary. So yeah, thank you for having me. And sorry, my camera is not working.
It's okay. Thank you for coming in Dina's stead. She was really bummed she couldn't make it, so I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Next we have Molly. Molly, I don't know if you wanted to introduce yourself. I can
Yeah,
skip you.
I'm happy to here, let me turn my video on too. Sorry for just being a ghost lurking, everyone. So good to see you all. I'm Molly Ansell. I lead California Trout's education and outreach efforts. It's really good to be with you all today, and I'm actually jumping off for another meeting right now, but really looking forward to following the progress of the Southern Steelhead Coalition. I feel like this is some of our most important work, protecting Southern Steelhead. So yeah, really looking forward to deepening the relationship with you all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Molly. And I understand you're really busy, just doing a lot, education outreach and other amazing work that is like coordinating all that stuff. I think Omar is our last one. If I miss anybody, please let me know. Omar, do you want to introduce yourself, or if you just want to sit? Oh.
Can you hear me?
No, I'm sorry. The robot has taken over. You are being controlled by it. If you want to put in chat who you are, where you're from, I think the text will go through. But thank you for sitting. I understand. Oh, and Brian just came in. Brian, if you would like to introduce yourself, you could do that, or you can just take a sit back. I know you just jumped in.
Yeah, I'd be happy to introduce myself. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Troutwine with the Environmental Defense Center, a nonprofit public interest environmental law firm. We represent other nonprofits such as CalTrout on cases involving steelhead. We've been involved in take cases on the San Ynez River and water rights cases on behalf of CalTrout, including the Kachuma water rights case back in 2019. We had a somewhat of a victory to get more flows for fish, and then we're currently representing CalTrout on the Solvang Wells case, where the city of Solvang wants to drill water wells in the river and extract water, and that we feel would harm steelhead. That's going to a water rights hearing at the State Water Board in November. So lengthy introduction, but happy to be here. Thanks for the invite. And I'm going to have to hop off in a few minutes, but I'm going to try to hop back on soon.
I understand. Thank you so much. And again, to wrap up, my name is Elizabeth, marine biologist and ichthyologist. I did a lot of work on fish behavior, actually, but I also know a lot about systemics and taxonomy and habitat ecology. So I'm also very, very well versed in wildlife ecology of terrestrial animals as well as aquatic animals. And so it's really wonderful to meet you guys. Russell, you know him. He's my direct supervisor. If he doesn't want to talk, you don't have to. You can sit and listen if you'd like, Russell.
No, I can say hello. It's good to see everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're really excited to see Elizabeth take over the coalition and give it all of the attention that it really deserves, as this is her single focus. So super excited. And then I have some, just updates on some restoration projects that CalTrout's leading in the Santa Clara. So yeah, just great to see everyone and super excited.
Do you want to start the updates then? Just get those out of the way, Russell, and then I'll let everybody else just jump in.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be great. So a number of you probably have seen some emails from me about Harvey diversion. We are in the process right now of putting together a grant application to the NOAA National Fish Passage grant solicitation. $240 million available in this current round. And I will lead right off with the sticker shock. So this is going to be Harvey diversion final designs and implementation. It's going to round out to be about $44 million grant application. To secure designs and to implement, which is reef scale restoration project that's going to have watershed level impact. So not a insignificant little forward movement, but ultimately we think one, we're going to try and leverage a whole bunch of federal dollars to get this project on the ground. And then also try and build in funding line items specifically to engage the county and try and break that logjam on fully developing the project partnership group that's necessary to put this on the ground and see that restoration effort that we all know needs to occur, particularly in the Santa Clara, move forward. And that would be essentially a 4-year grant timeline, 2026, 2027 for final design, handoff to 2027 to begin implementation, and then a 2-year implementation window, 2027, 2028. So that's pretty much the focus of my work presently. I appreciate everyone that's gotten me a letter of support for that. It's an awesome project, and it's needs to be done. So we're excited to continue to lead that. CalTrout also is going to be hopefully going out soon for implementation funding request for the Sespe Headwaters Rose Valley Creek Restoration Project. We should have the 90% plans available here in the beginning of October. We're hoping, you know, the elephant in the room, which we could find out Saturday morning if we were still in a forward functioning federal government. Hope that doesn't happen, because if we can get a sort of an expedited review on those 90% plans from the regional office for Forest Service, we could potentially be moving into construction very soon on that, to expedite the timeline on that. We're trying to as much as we can, but as soon as those 90% plans are available, I'll circulate those to the group, because again, that's watershed scale restoration, critical over submarine habitat for both resident rainbows, and then also will be extension of critical habitat for southern steelhead. But I mean, that's total native species conservation. That'll support downstream arroyo toad as well. So in the main stem of the Sespe. So super excited about that work. I think that's pretty much the two main efforts CalTrout's leading. So if anyone has any questions or wants to talk about those and has any ideas or just wants to chat about those, always open. So I'll hand it off back to you.
Yeah. So yeah, so those all, like, I'll be trying to do outreach for those events too. So those are things that, you know, are part of the coalition. And I'll try to show pictures off of when the progress starts, and I'm really excited. Hopefully you don't get delayed anymore, Russell, by the government shutdown. Okay, does anybody else have any immediate, or anybody who's a new member would just like to talk real quick about stuff they want to be doing or what they need from the coalition? Michelle, please go first.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So it's been a really, really great year for legislation, and we want to really thank one of our co-sponsors here, CalTrout, for bringing this important bill to the legislature with us. So AB 809, which is our salmonid population monitoring program, which ensures that the program will continue to have solid, reliable funding and all of the benefits that come with having this constant source of money in order to monitor this labeled species, is now presented at the governor's desk, and we're hopeful for it. So as soon as we hear back from this response from the governor, we'll let you all know, but we look forward to bringing any more ideas that you might have for legislation. We are open to that in between now and later this winter. So if you have any other ideas on how we could be helpful to this coalition or your individual groups in general, please let me know. And thank you so much again for working with us to get 809 to the governor.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, I'm gonna let Brian go real quick, and if somebody wants to comment on that, because Brian needs to leave, so I'll let him get his little update first, and then open the floor back again.
Okay, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm on a break in our staff meeting. I'm gonna have to jump back in there in a few minutes. So just real quickly, a couple of things. So I'm Environmental Defense Center's Watershed Program Director, as well as our senior analyst, and our watershed program surveys local creeks. A couple of weeks ago, we found some what appears to be unpermitted bulldozing work by a landowner in Dos Pueblos Creek up the coast here in Santa Barbara at Naples, near Goleta. And so we've reported that to the Army Corps, Cal Fish and Wildlife, Coastal Commission, and Regional Board. And so far, it looks like the work has exceeded the scope significantly for the emergency coastal development permit the Coastal Commission issued in August. And so we've also confidentially spoken with the district attorney about it. And so there's some movement on that. Dos Pueblos Creek is an important steelhead creek in Santa Barbara County. And then just a brief update on the Solvang Wells case I mentioned when I introduced myself. So in 2016, EDC, on behalf of CalTrout and National Marine Fisheries, filed a water rights protest against the city of Solvang's petition to increase the amount of water they're diverting from the San Ynez River below Lake Cachuma, Bradbury Dam. And we've gone through settlement discussions and mediation, and now we're gearing up for the water rights hearing in November before the State Water Board. And to that end, we've hired an expert, Dr. Bill Trush, a steelhead biologist, to analyze the effects of the proposed diversions on steelhead migration and rearing in the San Ynez River. So I think that's all I need to say about that, but certainly available if people have questions. I can go into more detail. I'm going to have to hop off soon, but it's really, again, a pleasure to be here. So thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. And yeah, if you wanted to contact Brian, is it okay if I give your email out if anybody wants to contact you? Okay, good. If anybody wants to talk to Michelle again about her project update, I'm opening floor for that discourse. Well, you put your contact information in the chat, so that's very helpful too. So if anybody wants to do that. Okay. Nobody? All right. I am opening the floor back up to anybody who wants to give an update on anything going on with them, or they want to talk about what they want from the coalition in general for any new faces.
Hey, this is Nicole Jurgens again from CFW. I just want to mention that I think you're all aware there's a lot of money on the table, federal, state, through a lot of different agencies. CFW has a bunch of new money, and there's actually, I think since we last met, there is a new process for applying. Before most of our grants, it was one date, you had to get your application in and it was done. Now we are in a situation where the majority of our grants, not FRGP, but all the others, are set up with sort of a rolling application process. So you can have, if you have a project, you can apply at any time. We also are doing pre-consultations, pre-applications, so you can get down what your ideas are and get some feedback before taking the time to write an entire grant application. So just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that change.
Thank you so much for that, Nicole. That is a really good change to note. Anybody have any comments or questions for that? Okay, any more project updates? Yes, Walter, please.
Hi all, I have an update. So it's not on the Santa Clara River watershed or the San Ynez. It's in the Halama River watershed, which is right in between those two at Point Conception. Nature Conservancy owns and manages the Dangerman Preserve, and the Dangerman Preserve encompasses 94% of the Halama Creek watershed. And so we have some unique opportunities for restoration and conservation interventions there. And we work with partners to identify a number of different barriers to steelhead passage. There has not been steelhead observed, to our knowledge, in the Halama watershed since the late 1990s. And we identified 2 barriers to passage, partial barriers for steelhead probably, in the lower watershed, one about 0.6 miles and one about 1.5 miles upstream from the estuary. And I'm excited to announce that we just began removing the lower barrier yesterday or last week. So getting that out of the watershed, and then we'll remove the second barrier upstream next fall, and that'll open up some 12 or more miles of anadromous habitat for steelhead. And so we're really excited about that, and opening this watershed and restoring this watershed for steelhead habitat and steelhead recovery, and opening the doors for steelhead to come in.
Congratulations.
What a cool thing. Yeah, congrats, guys. Wow, amazing.
Elizabeth, can I make a quick comment? Because I think it speaks to the work that TNC is doing there that Walter spoke about, then also circles back to Pete's question about why we chose the San Ynez. I think those two things kind of can link up pretty succinctly. We recognized there was a need for working with CDFW and evolution of the Santa Clara River Steelhead Coalition, and immediately saw the opportunity. One, because the ultimate goal of our coalition is increased pace, scale, and speed of restoration projects. I think CDFW acknowledged we were doing a great job of leading that work in the Santa Clara, getting the word out there that they're about all the good work we were doing, but ultimately that, considering the threat of extinction to this species next 10 to 15 years, that we needed to do more, bigger, sooner. And so extension, expansion of the good work we had here into the next watershed. And we considered several. We considered the Ventura, Santa Monica Mountains, but recognized one with all the work going on at Matilha Dam. There was a pretty good set group of individuals and organizations that were focused on some landscape level population impact change that could occur there. Same with Ringe Dam. And we immediately thought to bookend essentially all that good work that's occurring between the Santa Clara, what Walter just talked about, Alhama, and then it would be best to extend into the Santa Ynez, also thinking about the opportunity for restoration that exists in the Santa Ynez, very similar to Santa Clara. So much, available habitat that could be reconnected and could be restored. And so that kind of was the thinking onto why we included the Santa Ynez, just, overall opportunity, and then just like, the level of impact that we could have if we were able to get some more projects on the ground. So we could, ultimately begin including every watershed, because we need to be working everywhere as much as possible. But we just thought that was the most logical extension for expansion and growth of this coalition. And just because by including the Santa Ynez, we're going to start to pick up organizations on the Conception Coast that are doing good work and begin to naturally, incorporate those into the work we're doing. And we ultimately see, the immense value of those projects that are going on in those smaller sub-watersheds. Some of them known to have residents populations still present. Work that's going on in Gaviota Creek as well. So I just think there's a lot of great work to be done, and by expanding the Santa Ynez, we kind of, backdoor accomplish and capturing some of those while focusing on the Santa Ynez. That was definitely a bunch of conversations that occurred between Cal Trout and CDFW on when we were submitting this grant application, and their interest in seeing the extension, the expansion of all the good work that everyone's doing, and making sure we're continuing to bring in new partners. And like Nicole said, get those dollars on the ground to see restoration work done. But at the same time, thinking about the work that Cher's doing in the upper watershed, public education is a huge component of this, helping people understand the need and the purpose and the importance of this work as well. And so we felt there was really a great opportunity, particularly in the natural state of the Santa Ynez, to show the need to secure in-stream flows, to restore habitat, reconnect habitat. So I hope that answers your question. Probably not the best answer, but pace, speed, and scale, right?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was thinking of a time to answer that, but I'm really glad you answered that, Russell. Does anybody else have any more updates, and then we can get back into questions? I know Tom's got his question. Okay, please continue. Fragus. I'm sorry, Alexandra, I think, right?
Alexis.
Alexis, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So Dina did want me to give an update on McGrath, the McGrath State Beach campground, which is next to the Santa Clara River estuary. We have studies being conducted and working with our Southern Service Center and consultants. Should have a report due by the end of the year. We're engaging with regulatory agencies throughout the process. We don't have a project yet, but like I said, studies have been ongoing, and we are funded through the sort of environmental planning stage and feasibility studies, and planning for another very wet winter.
Great. I'm sorry. I wanted to spotlight you, but it wouldn't let me do it because you didn't have a camera on. So I apologize for that.
No worries.
Thank you for giving that update. Cher, I think you wanted to do your update next.
Yes. I just wanted to make a quick mention of the Eco Film Festival that we're having on November 4th at College of the Canyons. We'll be showing 6 films. And again, this is a bigger picture kind of thing. The Biggest Little Farm, A Plastic Ocean, The Aqueduct Between Us, I Am Greta, The True Cost, and Racing Extinction. None of them are locally represented. I mean, we're not talking about local steelhead, but Racing Extinction certainly will cover some of the issues that you're dealing with the local area. You'll be getting a flyer from us so that you can distribute it among your membership, whoever would like to. So thanks for letting me have the opportunity to tell you about that.
No problem. Yeah, I'm going to be doing an event on the 30th. So please, everyone, send me your flyers and I will put the printer to work. Russell, you gonna go again? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, quick follow-up question for State Parks. The report that you're going to be releasing, is that going to be a baseline biological assessment of the existing conditions? Is that what we're going to be seeing at the end of the year?
I believe so. I will double check that that's what they're producing, but yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions about updates, let me know and I will let you. Anybody have any more project updates, or should I open the floor to discussion? Okay, Tevin.
Oops, sorry, real quick. Yeah, I guess a quick update on the Vern Freeman diversion in the lower Santa Clara River. The things are moving along slowly but surely. I don't think I don't think anybody's real close to an agreement on United's desire to increase their diversion capacity at the Vern Freeman diversion. They're still pretty darn slow at getting real operation plans with the new hardened ramp. However, I guess the newest update is that United has selected to move forward with a mod 9 of the hardened ramp, which is a hardened ramp with a flushing channel. I was a little bit hesitant to agree with the flushing channel as part of that new design for fish passage, but overall it's going to be a massive improvement over the Denil fish ladder there. And we can finally start to see some fish passage at the Vern Freeman diversion when it's finally constructed. But United has come out with a notice of preparation for an EIR for their multiple species habitat conservation plan and the construction of that fish passage design. So that's the latest updates on the Vern Freeman diversion.
Thank you so much. Any more project updates? And then I think it's good time to open the floor for discussion. But I'm open to more project updates. I want to know what you guys are doing. It's gonna be fun. Okie dokie. Tom, you had a question at the very beginning.
Yeah, my question was having to do with the geography, and Russell explained pretty well the logic for just focusing on the Santa Clara and the San Ynez watershed. But as an ecologist, I can't think in those terms. And is this a final decision, or is it feasible that over time we can take more of a broader regional approach, kind of like Sandy Jacobson is doing down in the south of us there, of really looking at not just a couple of key watersheds, but really looking at the whole population. And in particular, kind of following from what Walter was saying about Halama Creek. Now that's kind of a middle level stream, but we're increasingly interested in all of these micro estuaries and small tributaries throughout our whole coastal region that may play a pretty important role in the larger population, especially given that steelhead show much less affinity to their home watershed than the more typical salmon. So that's just kind of a rhetorical question that I'd like to, over time, have a broader vision of looking at essentially the population of this fish rather than it merely being driven by the organizations and where they happen to have projects. But that's kind of representing more of the research perspective on things, but I think that's pretty fundamental.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I grew up in the valley, the San Fernando Valley. So I would love to expand it out, but I think it's important to start small unless you get overwhelmed, right? So expand out with purpose and not try to catch everything at once, right? So I think Russell can speak to this too, but we're trying to expand and get things done. And I think if we expand too much, then we won't be able to do anything meaningful. Russell?
No, I think that's exactly right, Elizabeth. I mean, and I hear you, Tom. It's the practical balancing of population level, sustainable viability criteria that we're trying to achieve versus what the reality of getting money to organizations and projects on the ground to successfully achieve and meet those metrics. And we just don't want to get out over our skis, getting too big too quick, and these meetings become just about like, you know, regional, larger conversations. We want to really try and get to the brass tacks of how we're helping organizations, you know, remediate culverts and do riparian floodplain restoration. And so it's really the management of the kind of those two aspects. But yeah, certainly the ecology of the fish, and, you know, its willingness to stray, unlike all the other, you know, steelhead along the West Coast. And so thinking about that. But we do use, you know, Sandy's work in the South Coast as a model. She's, you know, she's a powerhouse down there. We recognize that specifically, and are striving towards that, but moving at it incrementally. So.
And Walter,
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth and Russell, a question for you as new to this coalition. When I look at the Cal Trout website for Southern Steelhead Coalitions, plural, is there another one besides this Southern Steelhead Coalition, kind of to Tom and Pete's point, to balance this, or not? That's the first question, then I have a follow-up.
yes, there is it's the South Coast Southern Steelhead Coalition, right? That's Sandy's coalition. Yeah, she does one in San Diego. So that's San Diego based and Orange County based too, Russell?
Yeah, Orange County as well.
Got it. Okay, thanks. That's super helpful. And then, you know, to follow up on Pete and Tom's comments, perhaps, you know, in looking towards expansion, maybe a stepwise expansion would be to continue or include the Monte Orito Highlands and Conception Coast subunits. You know, that seems like a nice distinction. And I think it would be wise to stick to recovery plan delineations in that manner.
Yeah,
Just
I agree. Yeah.
throwing 2 cents out.
Yeah, no, I agree. So like I said, I'm born and raised in Malibu and Zuma. Well, I was born and raised in San Fernando Valley, but I went to Malibu and Zuma all the time. So like I would love to expand to Santa Monica, but mountains and other things like that. But I feel like, especially for my own sanity, I feel like it is really good to start small and make effective change. Small local communities, you know, start getting projects off the ground in small areas that will affect not just, you know, it might affect like, you know, 10,000 people, but that's just another thing you can make somebody's lives better, right? You start with small effective changes, then you can grow larger from that, instead of trying to do too much. Walter, oh, you just added, okay. I was like, do you want to say what you said? But yeah. I would be personally happy to expand to the Santa Monica Mountains, my little home playground. But I also love Santa Barbara and San Ynez area, and I think it's really great that we're starting an area that is such high priority. And that's why I'm really glad to have some people from the San Ynez tribe. Thank you for coming, Julie. I really appreciate that, and and Nate from the Channel Keeper. Thank you guys. Anybody want any more questions or comments or thoughts? Things that they would like to see the coalition do in our last couple of minutes?
I don't want to put her on the spot, but Sarah, can you give us a quick update on Ventura's activities in the estuary?
Sure. Sorry, I'm attending late. I missed most of the beginning of this meeting. For those of you that I haven't met, my name is Sarah Mulder, and I'm the environmental biologist for Ventura Water within the city of Ventura. The city is moving forward on the Ventura Water Pure program, which includes reducing our discharge to the Santa Clara River estuary from a tertiary treatment plant, in compliance with our consent decree with the Wish Foundation, Load Heaven, and Heal the Bay. The newest update on that is that we are still procuring all of our environmental permits. We have really one big one left, which is a Water Code 1211 wastewater change petition from the state board. We did get all of our environmental permits for the associated ocean outfall that'll discharge advanced purification concentrate. And the outfall construction has started at Marina Park. So that's very exciting. And we're continuing to work with the state on that 1211 petition process, and look forward to eventually reducing our discharge to the estuary starting probably at the end of 2025 if construction stays on schedule for the new advanced water purification facility and the outfall.
Thank you so much for that. So in our last couple minutes here, I really want to bring home the point of if you know any San Ynez watershed groups that would like to be part of this coalition as we're expanding to there, please let me know or reach out to them. We also want to highlight again that we're really trying to renew our efforts to work with tribes, as we have a tribal liaison position that we are researching and trying to create a better relationship with them. And that's why Lazaro's here to help with that. And it's not something that needs to be done now, but it's something that we are working to get done really in 2024. Another thing is that we will officially become the Southern Steelhead Coalition in 2024, and we're gonna do a renew membership sort of thing where you just like sign to be a partner with us, saying that you're gonna work to do watershed restoration and work to strive with the steelhead. Basically, all the stuff that I wrote on that slide about what we strive to do, and attend as many meetings as possible is another thing that we will ask partners to do. I understand if scheduling conflicts happen, but if you're a partner, we'd love you to free attend. And so we will talk more about that in 2024. But yeah, thank you guys for coming today. I know we went a little bit over. Next meeting will be probably an hour and a half, but just for the first meeting, wanted to just do an hour. So thank you guys very much, and please reach out if you have any questions, if you want me to promote anything. I'll be sending this recording and the slides to email. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.